Alright, everybody out there in the CraftChest Nation and the 12th Power Universe, it is I, CraftChest, here with a how-to video. And what this is going to be all about is making a green screen effect for less than $20. And here's how you do it. First of all, I went down to my local Walmart, and if your Walmart has a fabric department, they'll have a pretty decent selection of fabrics back there. Maybe not exactly that green that you need, but as you can see, I made mine work with the power of XSplit, because they have the little slider bars to find exactly what shade you have. And I got this fabric for less than $20. It was $14.33 out the door. I got 3 yards of it because it's like 1 yard by however long you get it. So I got 3 yards, 9 feet overkill. I was like, hey, worst case scenario, it don't work, I'll make a bed sheet out of it or a cover or something like that. Doesn't even matter to me. And then I got to thinking, you know, I'm actually one day going to build a PVC version of what I just did here for way less money, and it'll look more professional. I'll be able to lean it up, slide it under bed, whatever. But then I got to thinking, how can I do this to where I can just ball everything up, throw it in a corner, throw it under the bed, out of sight, out of mind, and nobody even knows that you have a green screen effect in your house. And here's how I did it. I went to Dollar General, and using the power of WWMD, what would MacGyver do? I went down their dollar aisle, and I went down their hardware aisle, and I picked up on a couple of goodies. First of all, I found this little pack of 5 on these hooks, $1. And then I went down the other dollar aisle and picked up on some safety pins, another $1. And then they happen to have some jute string. That's $3 in all, everybody, for all 3 little pieces. And the only other thing it's going to cost you is a shower curtain rod, a broomstick. Everybody has one of those brooms laying around with like 3 bristles on it that nobody ever uses, but you still keep it for sympathy purposes. I don't know, sympathetic reasons. I don't know why we have that broom hanging around in the house. But if it's got a wooden handle, perfect. Use that. Take a saw, using care, of course. Cut off both sides where they're square, and I'm going to show you how to make it. I actually had a wooden dowel laying around because whenever we renovated this house, this entire side of the house was one big ass closet, and it had hanger bars, metal, wood, you name it. The dude was a hoarder, and so we had all this leftover material once we gutted it out. And the wooden dowels I kept because I knew one day that they would come in handy for something, and it came in handy today, almost a year later, but I'm using it. And what I did is I took this dowel. It's about 48 inches long, however long one of those closet bars are. Just take it out. I'm just going to say 48 inches. That's what it looked like to me. And I took these hooks and stuck one in either side, screwed it in, and then mounted them and unscrewed them to where they were both up like this in the end of it. All right. Now, after you do that, you take the other 2 hooks and angle it up to the wall. Okay. And then hang your bar right above your seam, because this one is like right there. It's right above the seam about, let's say, this finger's here, and the bar's about there. So it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Just out of sight and out of mind for this effect. So I took the other hooks and I angled them up using my calibrated eyeballs to where the jute rope was going to angle down, okay? So I got all 4 hooks in place, 2 in the bar, 2 in the wall. One of them's right above the door jamb. You won't even notice it. If you weren't looking for it, you're not even going to know they're there. That one as well, it's right above the trim that goes around the AC unit, so you're never even going to know they're there if you're not looking. All right, then I took the jute and tied a couple of half hitches in them, put one side up on the wall, brought down all the way to the center of this chair, like right here, the back of the chair. That way I had plenty of string. Did that on both sides, and then I took the bar and I hung it, and I made sure that I had it centered up. I had my little half hitch or slip knot tied already, and then I hooked it around, pulled the slack out where I wanted it to hang, and then repeated the process over here to where you have a perfectly angled, pretty much floating bar via the jute rope, okay? Then I took the safety pins, folded up my fabric in half. This is actually exactly in half, all right? So long ways it's going this way, narrow ways it's going this way, all right? So your 3 feet's this way, and your, what is it, 4.5 feet is going across this way. So that's plenty. Actually, that bar is 48 inches because that's 4.5 feet of fabric that way, and it goes about 2 inches on either side to where you can pull it tight and adjust it either way of the bar on the jute rope, because jute rope's strong enough that we're talking about like 2 pounds tops of what's going on back here. So I took the fabric, folded the edge back behind that side, and started safety pinning about 5 or 6 safety pins across, and keeping it taut so you don't have a bunch of wrinkles, because wrinkles will pick up bleed through. All right, wrinkles will pick that up, and it'll get a little speckle or whatever. That's a wrinkle happening in there. So you want to keep it as flat as possible. Take your time. This took me 15 minutes to do. I actually have the raw footage of this. I'm probably not going to post it, but I just simply wanted to give you an idea of how to do this. Now, yeah, this is ghetto-rific, country, and whatever else you want to call it, but for $3 in materials, a wooden dowel or broomstick will work, and the fabric was the most expensive thing. It was $14 for 3 yards of fabric. I now have a green screen effect. Now, you can get more fancy with this, but it's not really necessary. All right, and when we go down to this scene right here, as you can see, now once I'm in game, I now have that professional look, just like all the other big dogs out there. The only thing that I'm missing is the beard. And I don't grow beards. I grow hair. There you go. There's that $20 or less green screen effect. And now I can actually add, whenever I'm playing Elite Dangerous, I need to figure out, I got to do some studying on this. I want to figure out how to actually, I'm going to have to get with DGen because he does his like this. And, oh yeah, little Bumble Bear, she does too. I need to find out how to do the actual scene in this area back here. Because I'm going to get like the bridge of the Enterprise or the Voyager or, you know, some type of fancy starship and actually put a scene behind me while I'm playing Elite Dangerous. That'd be pretty neat looking, I think. There's all kind of fancy things you can do now that you have a green screen. Now, keep in mind this. If you get bleed through, which I was getting a lot of bleed through on this side, okay? If you have a light source, like I do, right directly this way, you can see the light actually bouncing off my skin. There's a light directly above this. You have to balance the light coming this way, all right, or else you're going to get bleed through. Because over here, as like see, you can almost see it like how it's bouncing off my skin right there. If you don't have a light source bouncing this way to balance what's coming down this way, it's going to be a little bit of crackling and bleed through. So you'll have to play with it and see what works for you. A lot of people get really fancy and make light diffusers or go buy light diffusers. But man, we ain't got time for all that. I'm Poe. Man, I only make like $20 an hour or something like that. That's nothing in an abomination. Let's do this. Green screen effect tonight. Elite Dangerous. Come see us. We might even have an episode of Child's Play because I got to go do a load of laundry and Fallon's going to want to come over and actually participate in on some games, coloring and everything else. Actually, I picked her up a little memo pad. She likes to draw and write. And I was out of a notebook, so I got her that. Coffee's ready. Supper's ready. Green screen. Woo! Now that's a craft of the mind. $20 green screen or less. Go out there and have some fun no matter what you're doing. Twitch.tv/12th Power Gaming.